You have been told your whole life that you are too nice, that you need to stand up for yourself, that you care too much about what other people think. And you have likely spent years hating yourself for saying yes when you meant no. But I am here today to tell you that the label you have been given is incomplete. You are not weak. You are not a doormat, and you are certainly not broken. You are what psychologists call rejection sensitive, but I prefer a different term. You are running an overactive threat detection system, and today we are going to look at the neuroscience that proves your people-pleasing is not a character flaw. It is a smoke detector that has been set to maximum sensitivity. While most people can handle social friction without panic, your brain treats every potential conflict like a 5-alarm fire. And the exhausting part is that you know this. You can see yourself doing it in real time, saying yes when you want to say no, apologizing when you did nothing wrong, laughing at jokes that make you uncomfortable because the silence feels too dangerous. And the worst part is not just the exhaustion, it is the shame. You tell yourself next time will be different, but when the moment comes, your body makes the decision before your brain can intervene. Your heart rate spikes, your throat tightens, and you say yes again. To understand why this keeps happening, we need to look at your hardware. Neuroscience has identified a specific system in your brain that processes social threat. Think of it like a smoke detector. Most people's detectors go off only when there is real smoke, but yours has been set to maximum sensitivity. It goes off when someone frowns, when a text takes too long, when you sense even the smallest disappointment. This is not paranoia. This is your amygdala on high alert. Research shows that people with rejection sensitivity have hyperactive threat detection circuits. Your brain scans every social interaction for signs of danger, and when it detects even a minor risk of rejection, it floods your system with stress hormones. This is why saying no feels physically painful. Your nervous system is treating it like a survival threat. Psychologists call this the fawn response. You have probably heard of fight or flight. But there is a third option that gets less attention. Fawn, when you cannot fight and you cannot run, you appease. You make yourself smaller. You become helpful, agreeable, pleasant. Anything to de-escalate the perceived threat. This is not weakness. This is a deeply wired survival strategy. And for many of you, it worked. Maybe you grew up in an environment where conflict was dangerous, where your safety depended on keeping the peace. Your fawn response kept you safe. But here's the problem, you are no longer in that environment. But your smoke detector does not know that. It is still scanning for threats that no longer exist. It is still treating every minor social friction like it could end in catastrophe. And that is why you are exhausted. You are living in a constant state of emergency over situations that are not emergencies. Now, you might be asking, if this is so painful, why did evolution keep this trait? This is the critical part. If people-pleasing was pure weakness, natural selection would have eliminated it, but it did not. Why? Because the tribe needed you. In ancient times, a tribe of only warriors would collapse. They would create constant conflict. They would alienate allies. The tribe needed diplomats. That is you. You were the one who sensed tension before it exploded. You were the one who kept alliances strong. Your sensitivity to rejection was not a bug. It was a social radar system designed to maintain group cohesion. You were never weak, you were the glue. But here is what no one tells you. You are not living in a tribe anymore. When you say no to a coworker, you are not risking exile. But your nervous system has not updated its threat assessment. It is still running on ancient software in a modern world. And that mismatch is destroying you. So here is the truth you need to hear. You are not too sensitive. Your smoke detector is miscalibrated. And the solution is not to rip out the detector. The solution is to recalibrate it. Let me be clear about what recalibration means. It means teaching your nervous system to distinguish between real threats and false alarms. Because right now, your system treats all conflict as equal. A slight tone shift triggers the same alarm as actual rejection. This is exhausting because you are responding to phantoms. The first step is what I call the pause protocol. Right now, when someone asks you for something, your nervous system hijacks the decision. Your mouth says yes before your brain can evaluate. The pause protocol is simple. When someone makes a request, you do not answer immediately. You buy time. Here is the script. Let me check my schedule and get back to you. That is it. No explanation. No apology. Just a boundary that creates space between the request and your response. In that space, your logical brain can catch up. Do I actually want to do this? Do I have the energy, or am I just trying to prevent a threat that does not exist? This is not about saying no to everything. It is about giving yourself the chance to make a real choice instead of an automatic fear response. The second strategy is what I call graduated exposure. You cannot go from chronic people pleaser to boundary expert overnight. Your nervous system will revolt. You need to start small. Pick the lowest stakes situation in your life. Maybe it is saying no to a second serving of food. Maybe it is not laughing at a joke that is not funny. The goal is not the boundary itself. The goal is to show your nervous system that the world does not end when you prioritize yourself. Each time you set a small boundary and survive, you are recalibrating your threat detector. You are teaching your amygdala that rejection is not death. Over time, you can increase the stakes, but you have to crawl before you run. The third piece is the exit script. One of the reasons people pleasers stay trapped is because they do not know how to leave gracefully. So they stay. They endure. They suffer in silence because the idea of creating awkwardness feels more dangerous than the pain of staying. You need a prepared exit, something you can deploy without thinking. Here are two examples. I need to step away for a few minutes. This does not feel like the right fit for me. Notice what these scripts do not include: apologies, explanations, justifications. You are not asking for permission to leave. This is not rude. This is clarity. And clarity is kinder than resentment. Because when you stay out of fear, you are being dishonest. Real kindness requires honesty, and honesty requires boundaries. Now I want to address the fear that is sitting in your chest right now. You are thinking, if I start saying no, I will lose people. And here is the hard truth: you might. But let me ask you this. If someone only values you when you say yes, were they ever really valuing you, or were they valuing your compliance? The people who truly care about you will not abandon you when you start protecting your energy. They might be surprised, but they will adapt. And the ones who do not, the ones who get angry when you stop overextending, those are not your people. And losing them is not a loss. It is a filter. Here is what I have learned. The ones who successfully recalibrate do not become cold. They do not become selfish. They become more authentic. Because when you stop saying yes out of fear, your yes actually means something. You do not lose your kindness. You lose your resentment. And that makes you better at relationships, not worse. I know this process feels impossible right now, because your body is screaming at you that setting boundaries is dangerous. But I need you to understand something. Your nervous system is trying to protect you. It is just operating on outdated information. It is a smoke detector going off because someone burned toast, not because the house is on fire. Your job is to update the system to teach it what real danger looks like versus what false alarms look like. And that teaching happens one small decision at a time. So here's my challenge for you. This week, use the pause protocol once. When someone asks you for something, do not answer immediately. Say, "Let me get back to you," because that discomfort is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. It is a sign that you are doing something new. You were never broken. You were just trying to survive in a world that felt more dangerous than it actually was. But you do not live in that world anymore, and your nervous system is ready to learn. Start small. Be patient with yourself. And remember this: your kindness was never the problem. Your fear was just louder than your boundaries. And now it is time to turn down the volume. If this resonates with you, I would recommend watching our video on conflict avoidance next, because people pleasing and conflict avoidance are two sides of the same overactive threat detection system. That video will show you how to stay present during difficult conversations instead of shutting down. I will see you there.